Well, hello and welcome to 247.tv, also syndicated coverage on Bradford Bulls TV. As you can tell, we're not blessed with the weather here at Bardacard Odsal this evening, but it is a massive, important game from the Betfred Championship as second place, the Bradford Bulls, host third place Toulouse Olympique in the table. Both sides locked on 32 points. This game, with 3 rounds to go, probably, even with 2 rounds still to go, will probably decide who ultimately will take that coveted second spot in the championship table. As we say, the York Knights, they've got the weekend off so they can remain top of the table with their feet up, watching what promises to be a fiercely contested battle royal between the Bradford Bulls of West Yorkshire and Toulouse Olympique of France. Well, we're now joined by the head coach of the Bradford Bulls, Brian Noble. Brian Noble, this isn't just any championship fixture. This is Bradford Bulls against Toulouse Olympique. How excited are you for what's about to unfold here this evening?
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it all week. We briefly mentioned that we didn't do really well over there our last time out, and we need to show that we're a whole lot better than that. I think they know that, we know that. I think they're ready for a big matchup as well after their defeat last week. So, yeah, it's got all the ingredients of a great fixture.
What's the expectations and the message to your side ahead of this game tonight?
Play to our potential, and I think you've got to take account to some of the weather conditions as well. It's important that we play what's in front of us and not get distracted with the, things like the league ladder and the furore around the fixture. You've got to play the game, basically.
Everybody's expecting a classic and a tight, tense encounter. How important is good discipline, both with and without the ball, for you this evening, especially when you're looking at the inclement weather that we're not really blessed with here at Odsal this evening?
Well, you know my views on discipline. It's very important, and it might be the deciding factor in this game.
It is second against third. This one clearly carries more weight than other fixtures, Brian. Does the winner of this one take that coveted second spot in your eyes?
I think he puts them in pole position, yeah.
And just finally, Zane Musgrove gets a first start off the interchange bench. What are you expecting him to bring to the Bradford Bulls this evening?
Well, 180-odd NRL games with the experience of that. Big matchups. He's played at the highest level of Super League as well. I'm looking forward to what he might offer.
Thank you, Brian. All the best.
Pleasure.
Well, good evening and welcome to Bradford Bulls TV, 247.tv. It is second against third. It is the Bradford Bulls against Toulouse Olympique, and it's Bradford and Toulouse who renew their rivalry in a championship fixture which has been ringed and highlighted on the calendar for months. The anticipation of these two rugby league giants renewing their rivalries has been immense. As we've already said, they don't come much bigger. It's second hosting third. Bradford and Toulouse both on 32 points, only separated by Bradford's superior points for and against, which gives them, ahead of kick-off here this evening, an advantage of plus 41. Well, Bradford and Toulouse have been two of the Championship's most consistent teams over the last couple of years, and they rarely disappoint when they meet each other. So strap yourselves in. You're with good rugby league company this evening as we look forward and get ready to call one of the blockbuster games of the 2025 Championship season. We did hear pre-match from Brian Noble. We couldn't quite get Sylvan Houlet's, but his message going into this game in his press conference midweek was they want to focus on the positives. They were leading 8-4 at half-time against York, but ultimately they made far too many errors, 14 in total, and when you do that against a very good opponent in York, the writing, unfortunately, is on the wall. Well, Sylvan Houlet's knows today is as hard as it gets, and he knows this will be a fiercely contested championship fixture. Always a difficult place to come, Bardacard Odsal. Discipline with the ball, highlighted by Sylvan Houlet's and Brian Noble. Certainly in this rainy, wet, inclement weather here at Odsal, it could come down to a bounce of a ball or potentially a handling error. Well, we'll go through the two teams. First up, the visitors, Toulouse Olympique. Back-to-back games against the top two championship sides in York and Bradford means Sylvain Houllier, the longest serving head coach in rugby league, sees his Toulouse side arrive at Odsal knowing that they simply cannot be intimidated by Bradford this evening. He makes no changes to the side that lost to York last Friday. He shows faith in the same 17 who went down at home by 16 points to 8. Ollie Ashelbot, Ben Laguerre, Paul Marcon, Ruben Rennick, Paul Ulberg, the halves, Thomas Lecans, Jake Shorrocks, the forwards. Big physical encounter expected this evening. Lambert Belmas, Brendan Hans and Rob Butler. Back row, Matthew Jussum, Maxim Stefani and the captain, Anthony Marion. And on the bench, Joe Cater, Joe Breverton, James Romanus and AJ Wallace. Well, selection headaches are plenty for Bradford Bulls head coach Brian Noble. He mentioned at his weekly press conference that the hardest job for him as a head coach is to explain how and why he has picked the team. In Brian Noble's case, he has a wealth of rugby league head coaching experience, certainly in managing those player expectations and those tough, honest conversations. Just one change for Bradford this evening, and it will be Zane Musgrove who takes the place of Sam Hallas, who is 18th man. Zane Musgrove, as we know, his shock departure from Oldham a couple of weeks ago saw Bradford move very, very quick to secure his signature. The 29-year-old former NRL star, he signed a deal with the Bulls until the end of the season. He got his visa clearance a day before this game was due to be played, and the Samoan star, he'll certainly be looking to hit the ground running. Certainly a powerful forward who has played at the very, very top level in rugby league. Bradford then, Luke Hooley fullback, Winfrey Quarterline, Jaden Ockimbo, Wonga Blake, Kieran Gill and Guy Armitage. The halves, Tom Holmes and Joe Keys. The forwards, Michael Lawrence, Jordan Lilly and Logan Bayliss. Back row, Zach Fulton, Matt G. Loose forward, Ronan Michael. A rare start for the Island International. And on the bench, you can see what Sylvain Houllier has done with Cater, Breverton, Romanus and Wallace. Brian Noble following suit. Zane Musgrove, Chris Hill, Eben Skerr and Mitch Suter. Well, this evening is not lost on supporters, players and the head coaches, the importance of this fixture and certainly the weight it carries. Bradford second. You almost get a sense that whoever wins this evening will take that coveted second place. With still 2 rounds to go in a compelling, thrilling, drama-filled championship season. Well, for all the championship rugby league throws up at the most remarkable of plots and twists and turns, matches between Bradford and Toulouse always deliver. And here this evening for Saturday Night Fever, Bradford and Toulouse meet on even terms, as Odsal once again is transformed into a painting of vibrant colour with the pyrotechnics, the fireworks lighting up a gloomy West Yorkshire sky. These two teams will fiercely contest what is going to be one of the big marquee championship fixtures. Well, we can see the sides lining up side by side here at Barricade Odsal. Bradford coming to this game moving up to second place after they ran riot against Sheffield Eagles last Friday evening, recording a sensational 70 points to 8 victory in South Yorkshire. Toulouse Olympique, just like the Bradford Bulls, know that coming second as opposed to third would make the playoff pathway easier for themselves. Sylvain Houllier and his Toulouse side arriving Bradford, knowing fully well what just is at stake this evening. So second against third, Bradford Bulls, Toulouse Olympique, on what is a very, very gloomy Odsal. We've got the inclement weather. That will mean the discipline, not just in defence, but also with ball in hand, will be of the utmost importance. The referee for this one is from Mirfield. It's Liam Rush. It's only his third championship game of 2025. He has officiated 17 Super League fixtures so far this season. So we're up and away via the boot of Ollie Asholbot. Bradford playing in their third jersey. A very, very smart looking Bradford City of Culture 2025 pink number. And as we said, it's round 24 of the most thrilling and nerve-shredding championship season, and it sees the Bradford Bulls and Toulouse meet here in a fixture that has a real rich rugby league history of throwing up those remarkable rugby league plots, twists and turns. Certainly when Bradford and Toulouse meet, it's a rugby league fixture not for the faint-hearted, as we see Bradford kick early in the count, trying to get a little bit of an early advantage, forcing Asholbot to run straight there into the kick chase defence, led there by Zach Fulton. So if you are just joining us on Bulls TV, 24/7 TV, also West Yorkshire Radio and rugbyleague.com this evening, Toulouse, they got proceedings underway and they're now having their first real set of six right at the start of this game, as Lambert Belmas, in what is his 100th career appearance, plays the ball just shy of halfway as Marion moves it over on that left-hand side to Rob Butler. Referee Liam Rush. Right arm raised aloft. That's the fifth and last. Ball goes back to Shorrocks. High hanging kick taken there by the former Toulouse Olympique man, Guy Armitage, who had 4 seasons in the south of France. And he's immediately swarmed upon there by Anthony Marion and Matthew Jossum in a very, very box clever defensive shift. Kieran Gill plays it just outside the 20. Here goes Jaden Okinbaugh. Spoke to Jaden Okinbaugh at Tong on Wednesday. He's coming up against his best friend, James Romanus. He's on the bench. Matty G now for the Bulls. And they're on tackle number 4 with 1 to go. The 5 shy of halfway. Michael Lawrence up and over halfway here from the former Huddersfield Giant man. Is in his 19th season as a professional rugby league player. And just inside the Toulouse half, Keys, boot to ball. Targets Paul Marcon over on that far stand side. I beg your pardon, Paul Ulberg. And Ulberg there has grappled into touch. Referee Liam Rush did call held, and Jaden Okinbaugh there, just as we said, the importance of that discipline, conceding the first penalty of the evening here. It's a penalty to Toulouse Olympique, 5 metres out from their own try line. And once again, if you are just joining us on rugbyleague.com, West Yorkshire Radio, 247.tv, and also Bulls TV, Saturday evening rugby league here at a wild and wet Barnacard Hudsall Stadium. Big crowd here in attendance for this one to see second against third, and Bradford's defence and that line speed forcing Lambert Belmas back from where he played the ball originally. They're going to move it over on this right-hand side as Tom Holmes comes in with Matty G. They're still trapped inside their own 10-metre line as the Australian Hans looks for some willing runners, and one of those who tucks the ball up is the Toulouse captain, Anthony Marion. They're now on tackle 4 with Lacans as they spread the ball over on that left-hand side to Stefani, and he's going to be brought down. And the ball's come loose here, and Liam Rush is allowed the advantage here to Bradford because it's been recovered. That loose carry by Stefani has been picked up by Fulton, and Bradford now, after forcing the first error of the evening, the ball just squeezing out of Stefani's possession and grasp. It's going to see Bradford with a full set, 20 metres out from the Toulouse Olympique try line. Ronan Michaels playing the ball under the shadow of the post. Now it's Keys to Holmes, to Gill. There was a line break there potentially for Kieran Gill. He just couldn't take it in, and I think that might just be setting a little bit of a precedent, a little bit of a narrative this evening. We've just seen 2 quick errors, one from Toulouse Olympique, then from the Bradford Bulls. Lovely attacking shape there. Holmes missing out G. And it was Kieran Gill who was drawing the attention there of Ashol Bott and Laguerre, Toulouse's leading try scorer this season with 21 tries. And here, just shy of 5 minutes gone, an error apiece. It remains Bradford Bulls 0, Toulouse Olympique 0. As we mentioned, the importance of this evening's fixture. Certainly what you have on display this evening. Tonight, two dominant championship sides with a lot of quality players to influence and write those amazing rugby league storylines. Bradford, as we know, just 2 home defeats this season. And it's Bradford who are defending after that error from Kieran Gill. An early kick here out of acting half from Hans. Armitage alert to the danger, tracks back to inside the 10. And Guy Armitage, who scored a hat-trick against Sheffield last Friday in that thumping 70 points to 8 win, just makes a few metres there outside the 10-metre line. And here's Okinbaugh on tackle 2. So you can see what Hans' kick did there. Turned Bradford around. And once again, very early in this game, Toulouse, like you say, Sylvain Houlier's mentioned pre-match, you've got to stay in that arm wrestle. It's a very, very tough assignment coming to Wadsell. Lily now wrapped up. That'll be the last. Good defence there from Anthony Marion. Hooley at acting half to Keys. A very strong defensive set there by Toulouse Olympique. Keys' kick though, it's going to go into the in-goal area where Ashol Bott takes it. Passes on the try line to Ben Laguerre. Does the former Widnes and Huddersfield man. Well, anything that Hans could do, the Parramatta Eels loanee, Joe Keys, can return serve. Still scoreless here. 7 gone on the clock. Lacans started the season with Featherstone, and Lacans is away. He's up and over halfway. Tracked back by Keys. Good defence there from Keys. But all of a sudden, Toulouse with that early advantage here, and they go down the left edge with Marion, and Anthony Marion rolling back the years is inside the Bradford 20. On tackle 4 with 1 to go on this set. Early warning signs here for the Bulls as Ashol Bott takes it 10 metres out. That's the last. Kieran Gill in defence there with Matty G. Hands to Shorrocks, the former Wigan man. Crossfield kick. Looks to put a bit of pressure there on that Bradford defence, but they've allowed Toulouse to recover possession, and that's good defence there. Strong defence, alert defence from Ronan Michael and Zach Fulton. Toulouse denied 4 metres out from the Bradford line. 8 minutes gone here, still an error apiece. And that was a much, much better set of 6 here for those that are watching around the world and listening around the world. Don't forget, at half-time, we'll focus a little bit on what's happened this week with a number of statements from the Rugby Football League, from the Super League, also from the Rugby Football League chairman, Nigel Wood. It's certainly been a busy, busy week at RFL HQ. We'll dissect and look at some of those decisions and announcements at half-time. But here, Toulouse keeping Bradford penned back, and it's another kick early from Hooley on tackle number 4. Ashol Bott juggles with the ball, he maintains possession, and now Toulouse will play the ball on halfway. They'll have a full set of 6 inside the Bradford half of the field, and this one is bubbling nicely, some might say. Bradford, as we say, going into this game on the back of a 5-game winning run. Toulouse, as we said, they were looking to make it 5 on the bounce last Friday against York, but York, as we said, they've got the week off. They can put the feet up and they can enjoy what will be a fiercely contested battle royal between the Bulls and the Olympians. Here goes Rob Butler, straight down the middle. Had a loan spell at Bradford back in 2023 under Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood. Plays it just shy of the 20. Now it's Lacans. Ronan Michael's taken Thomas Lacans out. Officials are playing on here, and that is the last tackle here for Toulouse Olympique. Once again, the 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Shorrocks has it. Crossfield kick. Targets Holmes. Gill's knocked it forward, but it's gone forward off a Toulouse hand. They're appealing through Anthony Marion, the captain. Matthew Jussum has touched down over the Bradford line. That early try will not count, referee Liam Rush. He was eagle-eyed, and that crossfield kick from Shorrocks, he has seen a Toulouse hand in there. And certainly, watching that one back on the replay, Paul Marcon did get his palm before Kieran Gill did. So Toulouse will hand over and turn over possession on the Bradford try line. That will please Sylvain Houlays at this moment in time with the start that Toulouse have applied. And now they've condemned that good start by piggybacking Bradford up the field here, because referee Liam Rush saying there's a bit of a dangerous tip tackle involved in that one. And we've had exactly 10 minutes gone on the clock, so a penalty apiece. Toulouse's discipline much improved last Friday against York. Just 3 penalties conceded. Bradford, their best defensive discipline performance, just conceding the 1 penalty last Friday night at Sheffield. So certainly a good barometer for both sides to go into this game. So Bradford from the halfway line. It'll be Logan Bayliss, tackle 1. Jordan Lilly leaves the field early here with what looks to be a bit of a lower back issue, so that means Mitch Suter will come on early doors. 11 minutes gone, Lilly leaves the field, Suter's on, and here goes Lawrence down the middle. 3 blue, navy blue shirted Toulouse players bringing down the Bradford captain Michael Lawrence. Here goes Holmes in the 20, Holmes to Gill, Gill juggles with the ball, but it's gone forward. And once again, you can see the importance of discipline here from both sides. Bradford certainly looking to bring a bit of flair to proceedings this evening. Matthew Zussam, perfectly timed tackle on Tom Holmes there. And the ball from Holmes to Gill just being knocked forward there by the former Salford Castleford man. So we've had an error apiece. It is 0-0. And it is Bradford who will now defend, with Toulouse having the head and feed on their own 20-metre line. Well, earlier on this afternoon at Mount Pleasant, the oldest ground in Rugby League, it was Batley 16, London 30. So London picking up an important win in their quest with their application submitted for Super League. Here come Toulouse. It's not pretty, it's attritional, it's straight down the middle. The rain incessant here as Butler is brought down by Suter and Michael, who had a year together at the Canberra Raiders. It's hands out of acting half to Ashol Bott, and the 27-year-old joined Toulouse back in 2022. Gets a quick play of the ball in, and that means Shorrocks will target Hooley. And Hooley's done well there. And once again, Hooley, as he did last week against the Sheffield Eagles, allowing, or should I say, drawing free Toulouse defenders, then the offload to Ockenbaugh. And it's Jaden Ockenbaugh who's brought down there just shy of the Bradford 20-metre line. Toulouse free ever presence in their side this afternoon, stroke evening. Paul Markham, Paul Ulberg, James Romanus. Bradford 4 ever presence. Wonga Blake, Jordan Lilly, who's left the field, Zach Fulton and Ronan Michael. So 0-0, scoreless. A tight, tense opening quarter. Points at a premium. Suter to Michael, the former York Huddersfield man. 5 metres inside the Toulouse half. Centre field. It's going to go to Keys on the right, and this time Keys drills one into touch. And you can't fault Paul Ulberg there for letting that one bounce over his forehead into touch. Clever game management there from Joe Keys. And that has turned Toulouse Olympique around here. Well, certainly Bradford and Toulouse know they are facing a stern test of their credentials this evening. Bradford and Toulouse battling out with York for a top 2 finish in the table. Well, Toulouse Olympique, the long journey from Toulouse to Bradford will certainly have allowed them to reflect on that poor, error-riddled performance and disappointment of that York defeat. certainly no easy fixtures in the Championship, and they don't get any tougher than back-to-back games against the top two. As we said, this one carries a lot of weight, a lot of importance. So Toulouse from that Joe Keys kick, they're on halfway. Centre field, hands, back on the inside from Shorrocks to Bott, and Ashol Bott's away, and here goes Ashol Bott, finds Lecans down the middle. Lecans is wrapped up by Lawrence and Keys. Last tackle, Toulouse have numbers on that left-hand side, and that's where they go with Shorrocks, but he's put too much on it, as he Shorrocks. Referee Liam Rush says penalty to Toulouse. Bradford were not back the 10. It was on the last tackle. Paul Ulberg was looking to chase that clever kick from Shorrocks into the Bradford in-goal area, and De Silva and Houlets decide here that 2 points is desperately needed. But look at this from Shorrocks. Draws in G, draws in Suter, and Ashol Bott, he goes straight down the middle. And it was some last-grasp defence, alert defence from Keys and Lawrence to stop Thomas Lecans from opening the scoring underneath the post. Well, Sylvain Houlets has sent on the kicking tee, and it will be an opportunity here with 15 minutes gone at a very, very gloomy, wet Odsal Stadium for Jake Shorrocks to potentially open the scoring here this evening. Well, we've covered a number of these games for over a decade in the Championship, and you already know, as we head towards the first quarter expiring here, that you're certainly going to be seeing points at a premium. Certainly Toulouse know this is their heavyweight bout against the Bradford Bulls. Shorrocks last week against York, 2 from 2. He's kicking at 84% in 2025, 70 from 83. Third best goal kicker in the Championship behind Luke Cooley and Liam Harris. Kick predictor here, 84%. And Jake Shorrocks does give Toulouse Olympique an early lead here at Barricade Odsal. It's Bradford Bulls 0, Toulouse Olympique 2. We've had 16 minutes gone on the clock. It is 247.tv, Bulls TV, rugbyleague.com and West Yorkshire Radio. Well, we mentioned the weight, the importance of this game. It's fair to say Bradford have suffered hurt from this fixture in the last 3 seasons when travelling south to the pink city of Toulouse. Certainly Sylvain Houlets' side delivering the agony of eliminating Bradford from the playoffs at the semi-final stage in the past 2 years. On the other side of the channel here in Bradford, the Bulls have made Odsal something of a fortress, with Toulouse suffering 3 stinging results. Bradford dominant at home, leaving Toulouse arriving here this evening chasing a first win here at Odsal since 2019. And the tale of the tape is both sides strong at home when facing off against each other. Well, Toulouse here on the restart. They're 20 metres shy of the halfway line in a centre field position. The Parramatta Eels loanee, Brendan Hans, the 26-year-old Australian. There is no Baptiste Rodriguez on the interchange bench. So Hans is likely to do the full 80 minutes this evening. And referee Liam Rush will stop the clock here. Toulouse saying there's been a little bit of pressure on the back of the neck. I think it's just the discomfort of the tackle and how Bradford's keen, hungry, line speed defence was at that particular moment in time. Well, you've got to say, points already at a premium this evening. And certainly, as we just see Keys, Fulton, referee Liam Rush talking to the touch judge. It's Maxim Stefani that's down. He's got to his feet. And I think everything's going to be A-OK here. Although Liam Rush is calling out the captains, Anthony Murray and Michael Lawrence. They're being spoken to by referee Liam Rush. Incident placed on report, and it will be a play the ball. So, just shy of the first quarter gone here at Odsal. Bradford 0, Toulouse 2. And it's the men from the south of France that have asked the tougher questions of the Bulls at this stage. And now Bradford concede the restart there because Ruben Rennie was being stopped and delayed from playing a quick play of the ball. That's something both Brian Noble, Sylvan Houlis said pre-match about the ruck speed could be important, could be a pathway, a doorway to victory this evening. But with 20 minutes gone here at Barnacard Odsal, it's Bradford 0, Toulouse 2, just that Jake Shorrock's penalty. Bradford penalised for being offside inside the 10 after Shorrocks had kicked towards the corner. Looking for an invitation for his winger, Paul Ulberg, as it is now. Lecans. Toulouse keeping the ball going. Marion has it. Back to Butler. Butler's just going to take the tackle here, but he's taken free. Bradford defenders out of that defensive line. Hands. He's got options on the short side. Instead, he goes across the face of the post here with Shorrocks. To Lecans, to Ashol Bott, to Ulberg, towards the corner, but Paul Ulberg's put a foot in touch. Jaden Okinbaugh and Wonga Blake, they invited the Kiwi to go down the touchline, and the 29-year-old former Gold Coast New Zealand Warrior has been adjudged to have put a foot in touch. A costly error there for Sylvan Houlis' side. They had just been given the set restart on the last tackle, and that was clever defensive play there from Wonga Blake and, of course, Jaden Okinbaugh. So Bradford penned back inside their own 20-metre line here. Suter to Okinbaugh. Look at this defence here. It's fast, it's ferocious, it's physical. Jaden Okinbaugh's gone back to where the play of the ball was originally. Ronan Michael has it. Butler and Marion bring down the Ireland international. The Balbriggan-born Irish international gets up a little bit gingerly. Fulton now, a bit of second phase play, offloads the ball to Blake. Blake makes 15 metres towards halfway. Toulouse lucky to get away with just stopping Wonga Blake, getting a pacey, hasty play the ball in. They're on halfway though, the Bulls, on the last tackle. Keys kicks the ball into Thomas Lecans. Did Lecans play for it? Referee Liam Rush will say no. He'll say the French international Thomas Lecans didn't know much about that one. And it will be Toulouse who have the ball 20 metres out from their own at try line. Well, we know that Bradford are a totally different side this evening to the one that travelled to Toulouse back in March. Bradford have that new look spine of Luke Hooley, Joe Keys, Tom Holmes, Jordan Lilly and Mitch Suter. And it's fair to say it's been clicking and firing during Bradford's 5-game winning run. And certainly the authority, that organisation and influence has certainly should not be underestimated by Toulouse this evening. Bradford probably would have liked a dry track, so too Toulouse, but everything is going to be going down the middle with the forwards. And look out for the killer offload game. We've seen a little bit of that from Shorrocks and Ashol Bott. Now it's Lecans to Stefani. He maintains possession. Ball and all tackle there from Ronan Michael. Marion has it to Butler. Bit of a standing start there from the former Warrington and London prop. Toulouse Olympique lead 2-0. 17 to go to half-time as Shorrocks kicks on the last. Looking for Ashol Bott. Ball's gone back to Jussum, and that will be a turnover in possession because Ashol Bott palmed the ball back to his back row forward, and Matthew Jussum is denied. Well, he made his French debut in a 30-10 loss to England back in 2021. He's one of 4 homegrown Toulouse players in this Toulouse side this evening. Bradford have 2 in Skur and Hooley. And as we said, it's 2-0 to Toulouse. There's not really been too much pressure or action on each other's lines, but Toulouse just edging momentum and that ascendancy. Brian Noble ringing the changes as Eben Sker nearly loses the shorts. 10 shy of halfway, wins the penalty. Hans and Jossom guilty of laying in on the tackle on Eben Sker, and that's just exactly what Brian Noble would have wanted. Bringing on the interchanges, front-loading that energy, and Toulouse have just crumbled with their composure and their patience, costing them a penalty, and that now has invited the Bradford Bulls deep into the Toulouse half of the field. So, 16 to go to half-time here. Suter to Holmes to G. The former Salford, Halifax, Hulkington Rovers man's brought down 15 out. Suter now in centre field to Keys to Lawrence. Lawrence wrapped up there by Paul Marcon, one of 6 French internationals in this Toulouse side, as Keys now to Hooley. Hooley's told to take the tackle under Rennie and Stefani. And Bradford, best field position of the game here, building pressure. Although Stefani and Rennie have managed to wrap up Ronan Michael there, who starts the game at loose forward. Chris Hill on the bench, last tackle, crossfield kick from Keys, looking for Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh palms the ball back, it's gone to Gill. Great play from Gill. Now it's a crossfield kick a la Aussie rules from Hooley. And it's a penalty to Bradford because Luke Hooley's been taken out here. The touch judge has come on the field, and referee Liam Rush might want to take further action here. That was late, that was dangerous. You can hear what the reaction is from this large crowd at Odsaleys. And Brian Noble, he's getting the kicking tee on here. We might be locked up. Well, we saw a tight, tense, attritional game between Hulkington Rovers and St Helens last night. This is just up there with that. The crowd, they're wanting a card. Referee Liam Rush, he's going to give himself a bit of thinking time here. But Hooley's down, receiving medical treatment, as we see Hooley, who gets the ball away there. And it was Ashel Bott who's caught Hooley with the boot on that left knee. I think it's just going to be a penalty to Bradford, but we are about to be locked up here. You can feel the tension, it's palpable. Everybody knows the importance of this game. Certainly Brian Noble and Sylvan Hooley's, they agreed pre-match that whoever wins this evening will more than likely finish second in the table, and with that, the reward of that coveted top 2 finish, you'll get the benefits of a week off before a home playoff semi-final. Well, the worry here for Bradford is Jordan Lilly's left the field with the injury. Luke Hooley is Bradford's goal kicker. There is Joe Keys out there on the field. And Brian Noble will be hoping that Luke Hooley can continue here. Well, Ashel Bott will be sent for 10 minutes in the sin bin here. Referee Liam Rush just explaining his decision. It was late, it was dangerous. And the former witness man will spend the next 10 minutes in the sin bin. So Toulouse down to 12. We mentioned the importance of this fixture pre-match. In the last 6 meetings between Bradford and Toulouse, there have been 2 red cards and now 15 sin bins. It's always blood and thunder when Bradford and Toulouse meet. And we are going to see Bradford take the 2 points on offer. Well, you've got to say, there was no real need for Ollie Ashol Bott, the prolific Toulouse fullback, to go in with the boot there on Luke Hooley. And I think for Ollie Ashol Bott's sake, it'll be very unfortunate that the touch judge was stood on there, but certainly an opportunity for Bradford to level things up here. We've just hit the 28th minute, and here's Luke Hooley, the championship's best goal kicker. 50 from 57, 89%. He's converted his last 24 conversions. This to make it 25 from 25. and draw us level here at Odsal, which he does. Luke Hooley cancels out Jake Shorrock's early penalty. And with 11 minutes to go to half-time here on West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com and Bradford Bulls TV, it is Bradford Bulls 2, Toulouse Olympique 2. Well, rugby league players, we know, are brave. Certainly, Luke Hooley having to shake off that injury to his left lower ankle. And Ashol Bott becomes the 10th player this season who has spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. It could be a costly 10 minutes. We mentioned the importance of discipline, both in possession with the ball and also without. And Bradford are asleep here at the restart. Jaden Okinbaugh, he looks towards Chris Hill, who's just come on the field. And Toulouse Olympique have seen the ball go dead in goal, forcing a goal line dropout here. Bradford asleep at the restart. We've got exactly 10 minutes to go to half-time here. So, Hooley with the goal line restart, up and over halfway, both sides ringing on the changes here. As we've said, there's a lot of strike, a lot of players who have that lethal quality, who can score points from any part of the field. Here's James Romanis, who's just come on the field alongside Joe Brereton. Bradford bringing on Eben Skur and Chris Hill. Luke Hooley able to continue as Anthony Marion now fronts up. Will it be a real sucker punch that Toulouse deliver on the Bradford Bulls if they can score after forcing that goal line dropout from the restart? And there's a chance here now for Toulouse Olympique, 5 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the post. Bradford 2, Toulouse 2. Shorrocks and Hooley exchanging penalties. Hands. Chance. A slim chance, but the door slammed shut there by Hill and Hooley. Referee says last tackle here. Toulouse appealing for a bit of high contact there. It's right under the nose of Liam Roche. You can see him there, dressed in yellow. He's going to stop the clock here. He's just explaining that there was nothing wrong with that tackle. It will be a last tackle, play the ball for Toulouse, 2 metres out from the Bradford line. And the conditions here in Bradford, West Yorkshire, they are getting worse. The rain absolutely teeming down here. Well, we've not had a try yet in this first half. The clock has been stopped. We've just under 10 minutes to go here. When they're met in round 3 at the Stade Ernest Wallon. Bradford's heaviest defeat of the season by 36 points to 4. Bradford never really getting to grips with the stormy conditions and weather that evening. Ruben Rennick cleared to play. He'll play the ball 2 metres out from the Bradford line on the last tackle. Can the 12 men of Toulouse deliver a sucker punch to the Bulls? Shorrocks has it. Leguer wrapped up by Holmes. And that was good defence there from the former Castleford Batley Sheffield man, Tom Holmes. He went low. And Toulouse's leading try scorer, Ben Leguer, he was denied. That will please Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood. Kieran Gill, he's a brave soul, taking that one into Joe Brereton. James Romanis, and also Brendan Hands. Bradford now just up in the ante here. Skur to Holmes. Holmes wrapped up there by Shorrocks. Toulouse down to 12, remember. Ollie Ashol Bott in the sin bin for the next 5 minutes. Can Bradford make that numerical advantage tell on the scoreboard? It's 2 points apiece here. A fierce, ultra-competitive Betfred Championship game under the Odsal floodlights as Skur carries Bradford up and over halfway. Here goes Holmes. Wrapped up ball and all there by Shorrocks. They're on the last tackle here, the Bulls. Suter to Keys. He goes aerial. Gets the nod from Blake and Okinbaugh. Okinbaugh spills it forward. Chance gone begging there for the Bulls. They've ended up over the line of the Bradford Bulls, but the try is not going to count to Luke Hooley. Referee Liam Roche will give Toulouse Olympique their third penalty of the first half, and the crossfield kick. The call from the officials is Wonga Blake and Jaden Okinbaugh were just inside the 10. A relieving penalty for Sylvan Houles and Toulouse Olympique.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Bradford's remaining games, incidentally, another Saturday fixture next Saturday.
Well done, mate. Well done.
We're heading down the East Coast main line. London Broncos lie in wait, who Bradford played here on the opening day of the championship season and come away with a very sloppy, scrappy 20 points to 6 win against Mike Eccles' side. And now Toulouse have come up with the error. Matty G leading that defensive wall of pink defiance there, forcing the error on James Romanus. Toulouse up to error number 5 in this first half, and Bradford can sense an opportunity here. Well, we mentioned consistency will be the key to success. Brian Noble mentioned in pre-match that his side have served up at times some poor performances in 2025, but after 28 competitive games, he and the players certainly know that this is the business end of the season, and that those sloppy, inconsistent performances of earlier in the season have been left behind. It's all about reinforcing those good characteristics, those good principles that Brian Noble and his Bradford side hope will be successful. Certainly everybody from a Bradford and Toulouse perspective knows what they have to do for this one. And we've just seen there that Bradford defensive pack. I mentioned the Bradford spine earlier on, but take about that Bradford pack there. Certainly a lot of energy and effort and a lot of strength to see James Romana score without the ball. So from the scrum, it's going to be the England international, the former Lee Warrington man, Chris Hill. He makes 15 metres on that run. He's 20 metres out in front of the post. We've got 7.5 minutes to go to half-time as Matty G busts clear. He's still going, Matty G. Can he slide past those two Toulouse defenders? He can't. Momentum stopped. Quick play the ball. Here goes in Musgrove, who's just come on for his Bradford debut, very nearly crossing with his first touch. He's underneath the post, and it's Eben Skirt who's now seen the door slam shut here as Jake Shorrocks has to just body check the Bradford homegrown forward. Toulouse in amidst all that, they have conceded the set restart, and Bradford now with Wonga Blake to Okinbaugh, and Okinbaugh's in at the corner. Jaden Okinbaugh, a spectacular athletic dive. It's now 11 tries in the last 8 games for Jaden Okinbaugh. He scored Bradford's sole points in that heavy round 3 defeat to Toulouse. Is he about to score the points this evening as the 12 men of Toulouse have finally seen their defensive line buckle? And is, just as I said, is Jaden Okinbaugh about to score and taste victory? An important victory it would be for the Bulls, and what a crucial time to score here. With just minutes to go to half-time, Bradford stretching that Toulouse defensive line, and it's try number 18 of the season for Jaden Okinbaugh. Well, the Australian, he signed up for the Bulls in 2026, be that in the Championship or the Super League. Certainly reinvigorated his career in the Championship at the Bradford Bulls after a difficult season with Hull FC at the start of 2024. Well, we've mentioned Luke Cooley and that goal kicking. He's got the best percentage in the Championship at 89%. He's made his last 25 conversions straight going back to June, and an away game against the Brantley Bulldogs. This one's right on that far stand touchline in front of a packed main stand here. Kick predictor is saying 36%. Can Luke Cooley add a crucial 2 points to the 6 that Bradford have in this first half? Just over 5 minutes, incidentally, to go here. Those watching on the live stream, the clock just a guide. So Hooley once again a study in concentration, drawing that imaginary line. Can he add a crucial 2 points for the Bradford Bulls? It's faded. The goal-kicking record ends at 25, but a crucial try nonetheless from Jaden Okinbaugh. It's Bradford Bulls 6, Toulouse Olympique 2. You could see Eben Sker there moving the ball to Holmes. Look at this from Matty G. He just went through the front door, very nearly sliding over Brendan Hand's last line of defence, but not for the first time this season. Keys and Holmes, that new look Bradford spine to Blake, who drew too much attention. Asholbot in the sin bin, and he had too much space and room to cross in at the corner. So, West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bradford Bulls 6, Toulouse Olympique 2, as we head into the final 5 minutes of a gripping, thrilling first half here under the Odsal floodlights. So Bradford on the restart here with the 37-year-old Chris Hill, represented England at 3 World Cups, played in the Rugby League World Cup final a couple of seasons ago in 2017. England's narrow defeat to Australia. And that ankle tap on Jermaine McGilvray lived long in the memory. Is that about to change, you feel? Here goes Musgrove, the Samoan international. 5 metres inside the Toulouse half. Now it's going to be Suter to Keys once again. Under pressure is Joe Keys, but he gets the ball away, and Kieran Gill has recovered possession here for the Bradford Bulls. And can the Bulls now capitalise on that Toulouse error, as Matty G just says, here's the big thing to Brendan Hands. Asholbot's just come across your vision there, so he's out of the sin bin. So Toulouse Olympique back to 13 as Zane Musgrove is brought down 5 metres out. They're inside the 10 now with Keys. They go wide on that right side again, this time to Fulton. The officials say forward pass. They can't capitalise on that error from Ben Laguerre. It was Toulouse's 7th error. Bradford have come up with their 3rd error in this first half, and a chance there for Bradford. You've got to say it was an opportunity. They've not been able to take it, but already you can see Zane Musgrove is complimenting the big carries from Michael Lawrence, from Logan Bayliss, from Eben Sker. Certainly a powerful forward, a very, very experienced addition to Brian Noble's Bradford Bulls side ahead of the final block of those league games, as Bradford push for a top 2 finish in the championship table. The referee has stopped the clock here. Toulouse have Paul Ulberg receiving some treatment. Well, it's certainly been an up and down year for Zane Musgrove, but he's backing himself to finish 2025 strongly with the Bradford Bulls, and he's really excited to help Brian Noble and the Bulls. Big ambitions for their first return to the Super League since 2014. Clock still stopped here. It's a scrum to Toulouse, 10 metres out from their own line after a forward pass from Holmes to Fulton. Bradford's 3rd error in this first half. It's Bradford 6, Toulouse 2. Toulouse opening the scoring in the 15th minute via a Jake Shorrock's penalty after Bradford had been penalised on the last tackle for being offside. They then saw Ollie Asholbot needless and recklessly make contact with the left ankle of Luke Hooley. That saw the Toulouse fullback spent 10 minutes in the bin, and the score was levelled by Luke Hooley. And then, just moments before Asholbot come back from the sin bin, Bradford made that numerical advantage count, shifting it from centre field through quick fast hands from Keys, Holmes, Fulton to Blake, who come up with the goods once again, sending Jaden Okinbaugh over in the corner. So Bradford 6, Toulouse 2. Anthony Marion is back out there on the field, his second stint here as Toulouse. His play back underway, just shy of halfway here on the 5th and last. So Shorrock's from 240. He will send one down towards Luke Hooley, who takes that cool, composed. Bradford have had to weather
Stand up, Luke.
A lot of Toulouse pressure on their line. That will please Brian Noble. Former Toulouse man, Guy Armitage, wrapped up there. Joe Cater, James Romanis involved in that tackle, so too Maxim Stefani. Here goes Fulton. 10 shy of the halfway line.
Move, Maxim! Maxim, keep moving!
Just got 2 minutes to go to half-time here. There's a high tackle. He's picked up by the officials here on Tom Holmes, so this could be another costly penalty. Well, we mentioned Toulouse's discipline last Friday night against York. Another penalty they've conceded, which is an invitation here for Luke Hooley to drill the ball 20 metres out from the Toulouse line. It was Matthew Jussum who went high there, picked up by the officials. So this could be Bradford's last chance at the end of this first half. Can they add to that Jaden Okinbo score? 6-2, the Bulls lead. Suter to Hill. Hill draws 4 Toulouse defenders, and that leaves them short on the edges. I'm sure Keys and Holmes are doing the arithmetic. They're going to go on the right-hand edge, and it's with Keys to Fulton. Fulton wrapped up 5 away. Herculean defence here from the Toulouse Olympians. They play the ball. Back to Keys. Penalty to Bradford. There's been afters after they play the ball, and Brian Noble, he has 2 fingers in the air. He knows the importance of points in this big game. It's going to ultimately, you feel, decide who finishes second. And Luke Hooley has got the message from his head coach, Brian Noble, who will stand down at the end of this season. Bradford's recruitment for their new head coach well underway. They expect to make an announcement before the end of the season. And a chance here now for Luke Hooley. With just seconds to go to half-time, this will probably wrap up the end of this first half. Certainly the weather affecting the normal attacking fluent styles of play from these two.
I don't think he's talking about either of you two.
Certainly don't want to do too much overplaying in weather conditions like this. As Brian Noble and Sylvan Hooley said pre-match, you have to respect the ball. It's all about that discipline, and when we say discipline, it's not just the penalties, it's also about discipline with ball in hand. Kick predictor turned on. It's back up to 71%. It's 15 metres to the right-hand side of the post. Luke Hooley, a rare miss from him. Couldn't convert Jaden Okinbo score, but can he open up a 6-point gap here for the Bradford Bulls? He can. And with just moments to go to half-time, well, the half-time hooter has just sounded. Bradford will take the narrowest of leads into the sheds, into the dressing rooms. Referee Liam Rush is ready. Whistle to lips, back underway right at the start of this second half. Luke Hooley sends it down the throat there of Ash Olbot, who doesn't quite fancy running and meeting Zane Musgrove, Michael Lawrence and Chris Hill head on, so in turn he will give it to James Romanis, and there's a chance here now for Toulouse to set their stall out right at the start of this second half. Bradford 8, Toulouse 2, as Ruben Rennick goes down the middle and is crunched and munched there by Musgrove and Suter. Hands, snipes, scoops, shoots out of acting half. Bradford alert to that danger. Ashol Bott now goes to Shorrock. Shorrock's Ricky Curley on tackle number 4. And that's out on the full, so an early error right at the start of this second half here from Jake Shorrocks. Certainly one of Toulouse's main threats with his kicking and passing game. No secret the former Wigan half has the X factor to turn games on its head. But that's an 8th error from Toulouse this evening, and it's an error right at the start of this second half. That will not please Sylvan Hooley when you talk about that consistency being key to success. Well, Bradford now presented with an early opportunity right at the start of this second half. The floodlights illuminating the field here. Fulton plays the ball, Suter to Keys. Musgrove fronts up, draws in 3 Toulouse defenders. The Samoan international, the former South Sydney man, gets a quick play of the ball in which sees Suter send Hill on a run towards the line. Chris Hill denied. Hands in at the ruck there. Toulouse concede another penalty. Do they know the door? Bradford appealing. But Liam Rush is going to say Bradford have come up with the error there. The crowd don't agree with it, neither does Joe Keys. They're appealing and saying there was Toulouse hands in there at the ruck, so Bradford not able to capitalise on Jake Shorrock's kick going out on the full. Bradford 8, Toulouse 2.
10 seconds.
Well, they've all got smiles eventually, the players and the officials. And a chance here now. As we said, this fixture has had some of the most remarkable plots, twists and turns in recent seasons. Will Bradford v Toulouse deliver once again? We've had 2 minutes gone in the second half, an error apiece, just as the first half started. You almost feel Toulouse don't want Bradford to nudge 2 scores clear in this game due to the nature of the conditions. Shorrocks has it, moves it along the line here to Cater, former Hull FC man. Had a couple of games for Bradford back in 2022. Gets to his feet, he'll play the ball. Here goes Ashol Bott. Brought down just shy of halfway. They're on the last tackle here, Toulouse Olympique. We mentioned Bradford's remaining games. London and Featherstone. Toulouse welcome Bartley next Saturday evening. Their homecoming, their return to the Stade Ernest Wallon. And then they close out the season away to Hunsley. Said it's neck and neck, nothing to split these two sides, and the scoreboard proving that here. Bradford do lead by 6. As Kieran Gill plays the ball just outside Bradford's 20-metre line. Ockenbaugh has it, the former Canterbury Bulldog, and that's that yardage from Bradford's edges that has stood them up so well this season. And here's another yardage eater, eating up the yards. Eben Skirt, 5 shy of halfway. Suter up and over halfway, and that will be the last tackle here for the Bradford Bulls. Hooligan acting half. It goes back to Keys. Keys downtown to Toulouse's leading scorer, Benjamin Laguerre. It is worth noting that Jordan Lilly left the field after 11 minutes, and it remains here, Bradford 8, Toulouse 2. So that might just put a little bit of pressure, you feel, on Bradford's interchange bench. He is warming up though, Jordan Lilly. It's looking like he might be able to feature at some point in this second half. As we said, Baptiste Rodriguez, the 28-year-old Toulouse hooker, he's 18th man, so it's looking like Brendan Hans is going to do the full 80 minutes this evening. The Mata Eels loanee. Here goes Shorrocks. Looks for those willing runners, finds one in Joe Breverton. Sent off in this fixture back in 2023. Gets a quick play of the ball in. They're on the last tackle. A little chip over the top from Matthew Jusum. But Hooley alert to the danger there. And Luke Hooley faultless under the high ball at the back for Bradford this evening. So Bradford just looking to find their rhythm at the start of this second half. The 25 shy of the halfway line, centre field. Suter to Hill. The former Salford Warrington man brought down after a big run of 15 metres. Up and over halfway here with Zane Musgrove. Just being used as a battering ram as things currently stand here. They're on the last tackle here, the Bulls. Again, back from Suter to Keys. Keys targets Ashol Bott. And the former Widnes man will now turn defence into attack. But once again, that box kicking from Joe Keys, turning Toulouse around as Paul Ulberg there just juggles with possession, but manages to maintain it and looks for a quick play of the ball with Ashol Bott at acting half. It's tight, it's tense. Discipline's going to be so important in this second half. It could ultimately decide this one. AJ Wallace
Go for. Marker's not square.
plays the ball. LeCans kicks into space. LeCans has perfectly weighted that one, has he? It's going to force Luke Cooley in goal, and that is a tremendous kick there from Thomas LeCans. It was from inside his own half on tackle number 4. Bradford
just in case if it just gone long.
just a little bit too pedestrian there, getting back to deal with that kick chase pressure. Second time this evening in this game. The Bulls have been forced to concede a repeat set of 6, and that is just a little bit of a momentum changer, you feel.
Let's go, Luke. Shot clock off.
Bradford 8, Toulouse 2. Ashol Bott to Wallace. The Hulkiston Rovers loanee. He had 2 seasons at Bradford before his big opportunity move to Hulkiston Rovers in the Super League. Has spent this season, though, out on loan, playing for Featherstone, Sheffield, and now Toulouse. And here he is, the former Bradford man, former fans' favourite, now in the south of France. Brought down underneath the post, 12 metres out, hands to Shorrocks, to Breverton. 4 Bradford defenders out of that defensive line. Toulouse set their attacking stall, and here they go. A lovely spread here from Shorrocks to LeCans. Stefani brought down there by Fulton. Tackle 4, there's 1 to go here. Toulouse looking for their first try of this game. There's an entanglement of arms, legs and bodies as Maxim Stefani is told to play the ball on tackle 4. 1 to go. Liam Rush says play on as the ball goes back now to Shorrocks outside the 10. Breverton wrapped up there by Musgrove. They're on the last tackle. Toulouse 5 metres out. Centre field. It's hands to Shorrocks to Ashol Bott, and Ashol Bott, he will breach Bradford's line for a crucial try. Try number 17 of the season for Ollie Ashol Bott, and certainly Ashol Bott, who has been lighting up the championship, one of Toulouse's leading lights in recent seasons. He has potentially got Toulouse level here. Well, Bradford and Brian Noble will not be pleased with how they have allowed Ashol Bott there. There's some very, very suspect defending. A number of Bradford players going far too high. And Ashol Bott showing his awareness and dexterity there to just go past Hooley and Hill. Try number 17 of the season for the Widnesian, the Widnesborn. And a chance here now for Jake Shorrocks to lock us up at 8 points apiece. Well, this game, it's not going to be for the faint-hearted, you feel. We've had 48 minutes gone. 8 minutes gone in this second half.
My point of view. Yeah.
And a chance now
We'll get into that line. I'll get into my
for Shorrocks to add what could be a crucial 2 points. Kick predictor, 82%. This to lock everything up at Odsel. Shorrocks does that. Ashol Bott's try, moments after half-time, has drawn Toulouse Olympique level with the Bradford Bulls. 8 points apiece here at a wet, windy, inclement Odsel Stadium. So Ashol Bott cancelling out that try just before half-time from Jaden Ockenbaugh. 1 try apiece. And Hooley and Shorrocks on target with their conversions and penalties. So, rugbyleague.com, West Yorkshire Radio, 247.tv and Bradford Bulls TV. This round 24 championship fixture might just be going the distance here. Toulouse on the restart. Trying to build that momentum here. Well, there's a little bit of a momentum killer here because Joe Breverton has gone down It's looking like it could be a semi-serious injury here, because the Toulouse physio has come straight on the field here. Referee Liam Rush has stopped the clock. Well, as we mentioned, it's going to come down to ultimately which side is consistent the most this evening. Who's going to show those good characteristics? Who's going to show those good principles? Everybody knows the importance of this game.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
As we said, Ollie Asholbot, one of Toulouse's leading lights, certainly. Bradford need to be alert to his electric pace,
Joe, take your time, mate. There's no rush.
which caused them all sorts of problems moments ago. Asholbot's score, drawing Toulouse Olympique level.
2 games a day.
Joe Braverton just getting checked out here by the Toulouse physio staff.
Bad that though, isn't it?
And the clock is stopped here
No, we don't have green cards, do
with
we?
just over 30 minutes to go.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Well, we've mentioned the leaders on the Bradford side. You look at people like Chris Hill, Michael Lawrence.
I need you to play the ball, mate. Sorry.
Well, let me tell you, Anthony Murray and Paul Markham,
Get tight. Tom, get square. Tom. Joe,
they complement this Toulouse side as leaders in every sense. Certainly two veterans of this Toulouse team in the championship, and they really do thrive in these winner-takes-all games, with second place and that home semi-final up for grabs this evening. Well, play continues. Back underway here. They're on the restart, remember, after that Asholbot score. They're on the last tackle here. Hands to Shorrocks. Shorrocks, once again, it's out on the fall, and it's going to be another opportunity for the Bradford Bulls. A ninth error now from Toulouse Olympique. Well, they made 14 against York, against a very good opponent in the York Knights. Sylvan Houlays will be wanting to get that message down. Against good sides like York and Bradford, you simply cannot give away silly errors. And all of a sudden, the Bulls faithful in this large crowd at Odsal, they can sense there's an opportunity here for the Bradford Bulls. Eben Skur, 12 metres out, plays the ball. Suter to Chris Hill. You've got to be a brave person to be out there on the field with some of these big menacing forwards. Keys now to Holmes. Holmes is brought down, 5 out, just to the right-hand side of the post on tackle 4. There'll be 1 to go here for Brian Noble's side. Bradford 8, Toulouse 8. Suter to Musgrove. Musgrove to Keys, but Keys is wrapped up there by Shorrocks like a heat-seeking missile. Bradford are on the last tackle now. Holmes has it into the in-goal area. Blake chasing. Olberg has just grounded the ball. Paul Olberg, the former Gold Coast Titan, under immense pressure there for the former Penrith Panther and a Canary Bulldog man in Ockenbaugh and Blake. Bradford forced their first goal line dropout of the evening. A repeat set of 6 after Jake Shorrocks, for the second time in this second half, had kicked the ball out on the full. West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Mick the Game caller Gledel, Toulouse Olympique and Bradford 8 points apiece. Toulouse goes short. Blake has it just outside the 20 to Hooley. Hooley appealing for a penalty there from Joe Cater. Liam Rush says it's on the shoulder, and here goes Chris Hill just relentlessly driving the ball forward. Bradford 8, Toulouse 8. We've had 11 minutes gone of this second half. 29 to go as Keys takes the Toulouse line on, but last grab defence there. They were alert to the danger, was the Toulouse rearguard defence. And Keys will play the ball with Suter and acting half. It's in front of the post now with Holmes, who kicks into the in-goal area, but it's took a ricochet off a Toulouse arm. And referee Liam Rush says knock on both ways, but which way does it go? Toulouse are celebrating. It's looking like it's going to go the way of the men from across the channel. And it is going to be head and feet to Toulouse Olympique. Bradford not able to capitalise on that Jake Shorrocks error, and then that repeat set after Paul Olberg was forced to ground the ball. Well, Holmes kicked the ball into AJ Wallace.
Don't go early.
The officials are just going to say that there was a Bradford hand that knocks that forward. So, fifth error of the evening for the Bradford Bulls.
Come here. AJ, go that side for me, mate.
Well, Bradford now
Yeah, of course you will. Heads in, you're not as
will
daft. Come
look
on, Eddie.
to
Right there.
apply a wall of defence
Okay, ball.
on this front of Toulouse attack.
They're clear.
Certainly,
Surrender.
both sides
Stand, Matty. One. Keep
full
it
of
all
energy,
away.
full of effort, full of
Go,
super
one more
strength.
interested.
Bradford looking to restrict Toulouse's go
Yeah, big
forward
hole.
here,
Big hole. Move now, Chris.
forcing them to move away from the game plan.
Go to. Good.
8 points apiece.
Clear.
As Ashol Bott looks for support. Wrapped up ball and all. Good defence there from Mitch Shooter.
Go three.
As Ashol Bott appeals for a penalty. Hans kicks out of acting half early. And he's got a 40-20 here. Although they're going to say goal line dropout.
Not in touch. Perfect.
Guy Armitage caught out of position there. The former Toulouse man.
Dix, he's not in touch.
And when you talk about
And then he pats it dead.
that consistency, you just simply have to be alert. You can't take your back or turn your back or take your back away from this one.
I told you on the last one about staying on side at the dropout.
Certainly.
I will not take three. You need to be on
One of
side.
Toulouse's
You have to be on side.
Consistent,
You've got to stay on. This is the third
10
time.
seconds.
committed players.
Shot clock off.
In only his fourth game, Brendan Hans. He was at Penrith and Parramatta with Wonga Blake a few seasons ago. Made his inaugural debut for the Eels a couple of seasons ago. And now the ball's being pinched here from the goal line dropout. And Sylvain Houlays doesn't want 2 points. I think he wants to put the pressure on. All of a sudden, well, they're going to overrule their head coach. Anthony Marion says we will take 2 points on offer. That is how much at stake is in this game. There's still going to be 2 rounds to go after this. But certainly one expects and one predicts, whoever wins this evening, to echo Brian Noble and Sylvain Houlays,
Warming up a little bit. The water's
they will
okay.
take that coveted second spot. Well, the interesting situation is,
Get the water off.
if Bradford get home this
Carries
evening,
off.
or Toulouse, they will play before York's trip to Doncaster next Sunday. So
Yeah, good there. No further.
they
Stay
could
there.
very much be level with the York Knights, putting pressure on Mark Applegarth's table-topping side. 17 wins on the spin. What a great season for Mark Applegarth. Certainly when you think back to his difficult first coaching assignment with Wakefield Trinity. Kick predictor here, it's only at 61%. Can Shorrocks nudge Toulouse ahead? Yes, he can. Bradford's ill discipline being punished at the start of this second half. Bradford Bulls 8, Toulouse Olympique 10. And we'll say it now, points at a premium. We're going to go the distance this evening, you feel. Shorrocks, immaculate with the boot this evening, 3 from 3.
Time off.
Bradford simply did not need to steal the ball
Go with Rich.
in that tackle after Brendan Hans had forced Luke Hewlett to concede the goal line dropout. So West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, 247.tv and Bulls TV.
Okay.
Toulouse very nearly making a hash of the restart here. Paul Ulbergo will play the ball. Hands to Wallace. Wallace, as we said, started the season on loan at Featherstone. Had a few games for the Sheffield Eagles. Now at Toulouse, his 5th appearance of the season for the Hulkeston Rovers, 22-year-old. Skieran Lawrence in defence for the Bradford Bulls there. Bringing down Cater. And at half-time, Bradford led by 6. All of a sudden, Toulouse have turned that around and they lead by 2. 10 points to 8 as Ashol Bott now moves the ball from centre field to left. And there's a chance here for Ulberg, who goes back towards Stefani. But Stefani, though, is wrapped up by Lawrence and Skur. They're on the last tackle after that Shorrocks penalty. They're 40 metres out from the Bradford line, and here goes Shorrocks. He targets the former Toulouse man Armitage. This time he does well, does Guy Armitage, and he beats 1, he beats 2. Lacan's fronts up and brings the former rugby union convert down just outside the 10. Jerry knocking more. Tackle 2 for Bradford. Toulouse will be listening to the frustrations of this large Odsal crowd. They'll know they're doing a good job if the Bull supporters are getting a little bit frustrated. Certainly audible from here on the gantry as Lawrence now. Hard working forward, Michael Lawrence does all the basics right. Keys kicks earlier, tackle number 4. But it's skittled into the arms of Benjamin Liguer, who is body checked and clashed with Gill and G. Here goes Paul Marcon. We mentioned his leadership with Anthony Marion. These are players who lead by example, players who let their actions do the talking. They just get their heads down and certainly work harder than anyone else, setting that good example for their teammates. Once again, Wallace, since his introduction, going through a lot of work here as Toulouse Olympique find themselves on the last 25 metres out here from that Bradford line. We're heading towards the hour mark here at Odsal as Shorrocks looks to find Ashall Bort, but Hooley's done well. Well, a draw for either side this evening would probably favour Toulouse Olympique, solely because even with Bradford having that plus 41, you've got to say, with the greatest respect to Batley and Hunsley, as Mitch Shooter wins Bradford a penalty because Toulouse Olympique have been penalised for being offside. I was just saying, with the greatest respect to Batley and Hunsley, Toulouse Olympique have the far easier run in Bradford away to London next Saturday evening. A game we're live streaming once again on 247.tv. And also that home game here against Featherstone. And you've got to say, with how tight that top 6 race is between Featherstone Rovers, Halifax, Doncaster, Widnes and Barrow, Featherstone might have to come here on the final game of the season and need to win to make the 6. An opportunity nonetheless here for Bradford. Chris Hill tackle 1, Keys now to Hooley, Hooley to Blake. Ulberg and Lacans do their duty and job on the former Penrith Panther man. Only 100 NRL appearances with the chocolate shoulders. Wonga Blake, and here goes Evan Skur down the middle, and he'll enter the Toulouse 20-metre line. Ruben Rennick having to come in there and bring down a rampaging Evan Skur. Tackles in the bag here as Keys kicks into the in-goal area. Ashall Bort, will he be trapped dead in goal? Yes, he will. It was the clever, inventive play there from Joe Keys over the top, and that has seen Suter wrap up Ashall Bort in goal. 2 goal line dropouts forced apiece now, and as we head towards the hour mark, Joe Keys is quick thinking, kicks into space. Ashall Bort, no real thinking time. Great defence there. Ball and all tackle from Suter to drag Ashall Bort over the dead ball line. Bradford now with a fresh set of 6, building pressure. Well, if you listen to Brian Noble pre-match, he said it's going to be tight and tense and very little between the two sides, and that's how this one is proving to be.
Come on, Paul. 2. Move now, Jake. Paul, back.
Heading towards the hour mark here at Bardakan Odsal. Chris Hill brought down. 25 out from that Toulouse line as Eben Skur now enters the Toulouse 20. They're going to move it over on that right-hand side. And now they come in front of the post here. But once again, Toulouse Olympique alert to the danger. They're on the last tackle. What do the Bulls do here? They're down by the narrowest of margins. 2 points. Keys kicks towards Wonga Blake. Blake palms it back to Fulton. It's a lottery here. Bradford offside inside the 10, and that's the 3rd time this evening Bradford have been offside inside the 10 from those Holmes and Keys crossfield kicks. 5 penalties apiece, and we have just under 20 minutes to go here. Toulouse going to do the league double over the Bradford Bulls.
Find me! Find me!
Certainly remains to be seen what Bradford have left in their tank.
Move now, Zach.
Logan Bayliss,
Find me, Chris, wait.
Zane Musgrove, Ronan Michael and Jordan Lilly all on the touchline warming up. Lilly played the opening 11 minutes, then left the field.
Two, let go. Go two.
What have the Bradford Bulls got left in defence here? Toulouse going in for the kill, you feel, as it goes from Shorrocks to Bott, to Rennick, to Ulberg, back to Rennick, and Ruben Rennick couldn't take the inside ball.
On the 10, mate.
And it's a Toulouse error, which almost certainly, you feel, if Ruben Rennick crosses
Got the ball, shot back on.
for try 9 of the season, would have been a huge marker for Toulouse Olympique in this game. Lovely passing in wet weather conditions. Once again, Ashol Bott to Rennick, to Ulberg. Hooley came across, slid across. I'm not quite sure Ulberg really needed to force the ball back on the inside. Hooley had slid across. I think if Ulberg backs himself, he might just have enough room to go in at the corner, despite the best efforts of Wonga Blake and Joe Keys. As it is, it remains Bradford 8, Toulouse 10. 16 to go here at Udsall, as Holmes moves the ball to G on that left-hand side. Bradford and Toulouse's season, not quite the defining game. The defining game will be any potential playoff meetings, but certainly, as Bradford have found out in the last 2 seasons, those 2 semi-final defeats to Toulouse, it's a very, very tough ask to go to the Olympians' lair. Ashol Bott doing well under the high ball. This is part of the game now as we edge towards full time, where any mistakes, those small 1%ers, are going to matter, as Paul Ulberg makes a few more metres. And here goes Ashol Bott back down the middle of the park to Butler, who's back on for his second spell. And now there's a chance here for Anthony Marion, the Toulouse skipper, who's brought down on the last, just outside the 20. Ronan Michael and Logan Bayliss about to come back on here for the Bradford Bulls. Energy, sapping intensity here in this one, as Shorrocks goes towards the corner. Jussum has it on the last, but he's passed the ball to Kieran Gill. Another error from Toulouse. They're up to 11 errors, but they still lead. It's how Bradford now could try and capitalise on that error from Matthew Jussum. Perhaps Kieran Gill spoke a little bit of French in his ear. As it is, Bradford though, this is where they need those fresh reinforcements, and you can see why Brian Noble's bringing on the cavalry here. Logan Bayliss, Ronan Michael, just to add a bit of energy to Bradford's play, because we've got 14 minutes to go. Logan Bayliss makes 10, 15, 20 metres, and that's what we've just mentioned, as Logan Bayliss is up to halfway. Quick play the ball from the Australian. Keys on the last, kicks towards Benjamin Liguer, who takes that from the 10. Eats some yardage up, and he's brought down 25 shy of halfway. Oh, this one is certainly going to go the distance this evening, you feel, on West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com. Bradford Bulls 8, Toulouse Olympique 10. A second in the table meets third. There's a big carrot, a big prize at the end, you feel, for whoever finishes second. They get the week off, the first week in the playoffs, and then they will host, along with the York Knights, those semi-final sides at home. Rob Butler just inside the Bradford half. Hands. Marion. Wallace. Brought down there by G. Toulouse on the last. Time running out for the Bulls, you feel. The vast majority of the last 15 minutes played deep inside the Bradford half, as Shorrocks to Hooley on the last. Does well, Luke Cooley. Was it taken out in the air there? The crowd certainly thinks so. Matthew Jussum just rubs Luke Cooley's face there a little bit after the tackle. And now Bradford do receive a penalty. Messing around at the play, the ball is the call from the Super League referee, Liam Rush. As we said, only his third championship game of 2025. He's officiated 17 in the Super League. Certainly one of the up-and-coming new names on the referee block. He did Hulkiston Rovers against St Helens earlier on this season. A big appointment for him. So, just over 10 minutes to go at Bardacard Odsal. What have the Bulls got left to try and take this game from Toulouse Olympique? They're down by 2. Bayliss laying that attacking platform. Now to Ronan Michael. They're 20 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the post. Keys to Holmes, to Blake. It's been attritional stuff, intense stuff. That nerve-shredding drama now just coming over the horizon. Keys to Michael, but Butler read that play, and Bradford on the last. 8 metres out. It's going to be Holmes who goes for the pump, but the ball has been fired into touch. Toulouse head and feed. Bradford saying it's come off a Toulouse hand. The touch judge tells Liam Rush, the match official, it did touch a Toulouse hand, and Bradford supporters can sense with 10 minutes to go here that they have a full set. 10 metres out, dead set central in front of the Toulouse post. Well, strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. With 10 minutes to go here, we are going the distance, just as we predicted, just as we expected. A real championship barn burster between the Bulls and the Olympians. Holmes to Michael, he's wrapped up. 10 metres out in front of the Toulouse post. Keys to Logan Bayliss, the former Brisbane North Queensland man. He's dumped and he's lost the ball, and it's a penalty to Bradford, and Brian Noble has 2 fingers in the air. It's a big call here from Liam Rush, because we're going to be locked up at 10 points apiece. The Toulouse captain Anthony Marion is remonstrating with Liam Rush, the young 25-year-old official from Murfield, but Liam Rush, he is saying there was an infringement at the play of the ball. And now the weight of Bradford's season potentially on this penalty kick from Luke Cooley. It's 15 metres out, 5 to the right-hand side of the post. Kick predictors already saying 89%. Cooley, a rare miss from him. Couldn't convert the score from the touchline that Jaden Ockenbaugh scored. But this potentially, like I said earlier, a draw probably just about favours Toulouse Olympique with the easier running. But oh boy, if it does go down to points for and against in the final 2 rounds, London, Featherstone, Batley and Hunslet, watch out.
When he kicks it, yeah, stand still when he's kicking. All right?
Because Bradford and Toulouse are going to throw everything at you.
When he's kicking, yeah.
Even the utensils out of that kitchen drawer.
Once time's off, then you can go. But
well, Luke Cooley, an opportunity here to draw the Bradford Bulls level. He has been an impressive performer for Bradford, lighting up their attack with his effortless running game and his goal kicking. 89% the kick predictor. Hooley does draw level. It's Bradford Bulls 10, Toulouse Olympique 10. We've got 8 minutes to go here at Bardacard Odsal. Hooley goes out to 3 from 4. How's the pulse? How's the nerves? West Yorkshire Radio, rugbyleague.com, Bulls TV, 247.tv on the live stream. Referee stops the clock. Toulouse just waiting for the restart to go. And it will be the boot of Ollie Ashall-Bott. And now it firmly comes down to those small 1%ers. Ashol Bott goes straight down the throat of Okinbo. Okinbo in turn gives it to Ronan Michael. Well, it's a try apiece. A couple of penalties apiece between these two championship rivals. And the final 7 minutes are surely going to be some of the most drama-shredding, nerve-filled championship action we see all season long here. Bradford on the restart. They're over on the far stand side. They're 15 metres shy of that halfway line as Ronan Michael calls for it, but instead it goes right to Lawrence. And Bradford, after drawing level, they will kick on the last from their own 40-metre line. Benjamin Laguerre traps the ball with his boot, picks it up, runs it calmly into that pink-shirted Bradford defence. 6 minutes exactly to go here at Barricade Odsal. Where is this game going? A draw would keep Bradford second in the table. It would mean York would take top spot. So all routes would go through North Yorkshire and the LNER Stadium. But Toulouse are not giving up the ghost here. Anthony Marion to Shorrocks, to Jussum. The 25 metres out on the last. Is anybody going to think about 1 pointer from 25 out? It is going to go to Shorrocks. Shorrocks low crossfield kick. Targets Blake and Okinbo. Blake's caught high. Officials say no. And it'll just be Maxim Stefani and Ruben Rennick who bring down Wonga Blake. This is where that home advantage might just count. The crowd just keeping the officials alert, making sure Toulouse are back the 10. And I'm sure Sylvan Houles and Brian Noble will be absolutely getting instructions on the field. No silly errors, no penalties, no set restarts, nothing that could piggyback your opponents up the field. Bradford, though, they're still 10 shy of halfway and they're on the last tackle. There's 4 minutes to go here. 4 minutes as Keys reverse pass to Hooley. Hooley sends a high hanging spiralling bomb up. Toulouse let it bounce. Pink shirted Bradford players come for it. Hooley takes it, gives it to Blake. Blake's lost the ball forward into the arms of Ashol Bott, and just for a moment there, Blake's stolen the ball 1-on-1. Tackle not complete. But referee Liam Rush is going to say double error. Toulouse didn't have the advantage. And this should be head and feed to the men from the south of France. Or is the touch judge going to say Toulouse took their advantage? No, Liam Rush, very, very smart, sensible decision. There was just a hint of an opportunity there from Wonga Blake on that last tackle play. Well, we are going the distance here. Might not be the noisiest Odsal's been all season. I think everybody is soggy and certainly drained from an absorbing, intense, competitive championship encounter. But it's Bradford 10, Toulouse 10. Second place up for grabs, and with just over 3 minutes to go, Toulouse need to get in field goal range. Will they do that on this set? They've got 1 to go here. They're 5 inside the Bradford half. Hands now to Ashol Bott. Any more points at this stage in the game is going to lead to late heartbreak. Bradford, they desperately want that top 2 finish. Ashol Bott plays it on 4. And now Bradford have conceded a penalty in front of the post. They've done exactly what they didn't need to do. Toulouse, the quick play the ball, and somebody has gone high on Anthony Marion. Referee Liam Rush in the perfect place to see that one. Bradford can have no complaints. They have come up with potentially a huge, huge gift to Toulouse Olympique right at the end of this game. There will still be time in this game for the restart. But Logan Bayliss, fresh out of the interchange, he came on and he's come up with the penalty. 20 metres out, dead set central, in front of the Bradford post. Well, certainly Toulouse arrived at Odsal wounded after their home defeat to York last Friday.
And if it's any different, we'll switch.
But they are one of the few sides in the Championship who are well equipped to manage their way through tough games like the one tonight. Jake Shorrocks to nudge Toulouse in front, potentially into a game-winning position. He does after that penalty from Logan Bayliss, and it's Bradford Bulls 10, Toulouse Olympique 12. As things currently stand, with under 2 minutes to go here, Bradford potentially are seeing second spot evaporate before their very eyes. An impressive evening with a boot from Jake Shorrocks. 4 from 4. Bradford have gone short here. They've come up with the error. It was a half chance for Mitch Suter. And Toulouse Olympique are just seconds away now from a first win at Odsal since 2019. And now there's a flare up here. Ashol Bott is down on the floor. Wonga Blake comes running in. The officials have to sort this out. Bradford players surrounding the officials. Toulouse players doing likewise. Well, referee Liam Rush, big decision to make here. Clearly something has happened. And the referee just urging everybody to clear. He wants to take a report from the touch judge. There might be more drama to go in this game yet. Ashol Bott saying that he was dumped dangerously. Well, Ashol Bott's got the ball. He's just been pushed on the floor there by Logan Bayliss. Brendan Hans comes in, and I guess Liam Rush, using that Super League experience, he's not going to give a penalty to either side with just 60 seconds left in this game. Bradford might just have one final chance here, but they need the ball. Well, fine margins, fine moments. Toulouse Olympique, they move closer towards that coveted second place. Bradford will certainly push them all the way in that second place race as James Romanos just takes his time there in getting up and playing the ball. Bradford will just have one last chance, you feel, although they've lost the ball to Toulouse and the players come running in again. And it's a penalty to Bradford. Oh, Liam Rush has given a penalty to Bradford. 5 metres inside the Toulouse half. Toulouse have the ball and the hooter is about to sound. Well, we talk about nerve-shredding drama, and the hooter does sound. And the final act of this game is going to be Luke Cooley with an opportunity here to draw the Bradford Bulls level. Well, I have seen everything there is to see in Championship Rugby League. We spoke pre-match that this has been the most thrilling, nerve-shredding Championship seasons ever. Bradford and Toulouse meeting in a fixture that has a rich Rugby League history of throwing up the most remarkable plots, twists and turns. And are we about to see the biggest? Are we about to see the greatest? One of Bradford's biggest crowds of the season. It's very difficult from up here to see why that penalty was actually awarded. Toulouse are still protesting. Liam Rush is telling Anthony Marion and those Toulouse players they are moving and trying to put Luke Cooley off. Well, this is drama. This is Rugby League drama after the hooter here. Luke Cooley went into this game 24 from 24, 24 straight conversions, going back to June and that away victory against Batley. He missed from the touchline for Jaden Ockenbaugh. But can he redeem himself? We mentioned about all players drawing that imaginary line. This is almost Joe Keys stuff or Joe Keys-esque at Bootham Crescent back in 2018. Can Luke Hooley keep Bradford's second place aspirations alive? This to earn Bradford a point and still hope of finishing in that coveted second place. Luke Hooley from 45 metres out. Has he got it? No, he hasn't. It has gone to the left-hand side of the post. The hooter sounds for a second time. And Bradford's prolific marksman with the boot. He misses this one at the death. He is inconsolable on the halfway line. His Bradford teammates come rushing up. But his penalty after the hooter, it has gone dead in goal. It has gone wide, and Toulouse Olympique, they pick up a huge win here at Odsal Stadium.